And let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is showtime at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got 'em 4 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again. It is MRN's Wing Nation presented by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength. We are so glad you joined us. Steve Post and Erin Evernham here talking to some of our buds along the way. We're going to talk to Chad Trout. Picked up his career first 410 win up at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway. And our good friend Wayne Johnson was in victory lane as well. We're going to talk to him also along the way. As I mentioned, Steve Post and Erin Evernham, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Thanks. I know. I feel like a rookie all over again.
Well, you had sick child a couple weeks ago. Not good. No bueno. No bueno at all. And then you had a commitment last week with the Rescue Ranch, which is just a great organization that Ryan and Chrissy Newman did.
Yes.
So you did that last week.
Yeah, I know. But I feel like I'm out of the loop.
Well, but we've got your tweets.
Okay.
That the baby monitor, the wine, as we talk about. Let's see, Erin Evernham's Dirt Vision night. Let's see, wine check, Dirt Vision check, wine check, baby monitor check, and wine check.
And some more wine.
And
check.
some more wine.
I have a reputation to uphold, so now I just have to send the picture, and I just wrote again or whatever I wrote.
Well, great.
I don't want to ruin a good thing.
No, exactly.
Thank you.
Great to have you back along the way. And we started so strong in Volusia and down in Florida, East Bay, and everyone, and then we've kind of been herky-jerky here. We got Texas rained out. We get a little tease in Vegas. Then Paris gets rained out. It's like, come on, can we get going here?
Yeah, and I feel the same thing with the 360s. They got, East Bay going, and then there's like a USCS race here and there. But that's like kind of one of the few races we could follow this weekend.
Ironically, we've talked about this. Ashley and I talked about this. Pete Walton knocked it out of the ballpark with his winter heat series.
Absolutely.
I mean, he went 8 for 8 races.
Yeah.
Nobody's gone 8 for 8 races this year.
And a great car count.
And great car counts and great winners. And Tony Stewart picked up a win along the way. So tip of the cap to Pete. And that's where Wayne Johnson picked up the win this past weekend in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. How about that? Good stuff along the way. Hey, let's take a look at our Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics. World of Outlaw news came out last week, but I just wanted to address this again because this is such great news for not only the World of Outlaws, but for Tim Schaefer. Tim Schaefer, a platinum member. How about that?
That is awesome. I mean, we talked to him a few weeks ago, and he didn't mention, maybe they didn't have finalized plans, but I think that's a great, like you said, a great addition to the Outlaws, and he's going to be tough. I mean, we've seen how fast he is.
When that car is right, it don't matter what track, what planet.
Doesn't matter if it's Donnie Schatz or
that car is just bad fast. Mm-hmm. And the thing of it is running the Outlaw schedule with him and Cody Jacobs. That means more races, more time, more better, more good, more good, more good.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing of it is, and I think that's the thing that's about that pairing. I mean, granted, any couple pair, crew chief driver, can ultimately get on each other's nerves, but geez, Cody and Tim, it's just they're traveling up and down the road together. That's all they want to do.
Yeah, and when we talked to him, they sounded like they were having a good time. Tim can often be a man of few words, and when we spoke with him, he was excited. He sounded laid back. I don't know. I think he's going to be a big threat.
I spent some time with Cody down at Volusia, spent probably 15 or 20 minutes talking to him, and just happy.
Yeah.
Just the word happy. And now they're doing what both, face it, any good crew chief in the sport. We have great racing across the country, but the top crew chiefs and the top drivers want to run the World of Outlaws.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
We've got another pair that are going to do that. That is fantastic. Our buddy Jeremy Elliott earlier this week, SprintCarUnlimited.com. Of course, you can check Jeremy's site out. He does such a great job with that. Finally got some news on Dale Blaney.
Thank goodness. Been waiting for it.
Well, I know I talked to Dale at PRI, and he's like, I've got 3 or 4 things, and I'll be all right. Well, PRI is December.
Yeah.
We're March. And finally, 40 races with the Bill Comer Motorsports, the number 21 car. Cap Henry had driven this car last year. And then Dale has a couple of other things that he's going to fill in around it to put together a full schedule. So
that's great.
That is good.
We need him.
Yes, exactly. And it looks like the 21 cars are an Ohio-based schedule.
Yep.
And that's great. You get Dale Blaney racing in Ohio, man, I'm telling you what, just another good car. So good stuff along the way. USCS, we had winners were Wayne Johnson and Tony Stewart. Okay. Lincoln Speedway, Chad Trout, we're going to talk to him. And we'll talk a little bit more about this later on, or maybe on our Thursday podcast. Danny Dietrich going to do the double. That, to me, I love the double. I love the Lincoln Port double.
Yes. I
think that's fantastic. So there you have it. Your Classic Ink screen printing and embroidery hot topics, classicinkusa.com. That's www.classicinkusa.com. We need to step away because when we come back, a first-time winner in the 410 ranks, Chad Trout. He joins us next.
For over 50 years, drivers in sprint car, midget, micro, modified, and even dirt late model have taken the checkered flag on Weld Racing Wheels. Legendary drivers like Joe Saldana, Carl, Mark, and Steve Kinzer, Doug Wolfgang, and countless other racers have trusted Weld Racing Wheels for their superior strength and lightweight construction to finish ahead of the competition. With 50 years of race-winning engineering and technology, American-made Weld Racing Wheels are designed and built to withstand virtually any abuse you throw at them. Weld Racing. Proven speed.
The National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum in Knoxville, Iowa is open year-round 7 days a week for race fans to celebrate sprint car racing. With over 30 original open-wheel race cars and sprint cars on display, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, movie theater, and the world's largest selection of sprint car merchandise. Visit our online store at sprintcarstuff.com to view all of our sprint car merchandise. Or when in Knoxville, stop by the only museum in the world solely dedicated to sprint car racing, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum, located in the sprint car capital of the world, Knoxville.
O'Reilly. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for $28.95 and get a free O'Reilly Auto Parts 500 t-shirt by mail. Save on Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is Paul McMahon, and you're watching MRN's Wing Nation on MRN.com.
Thanks, Paul. Welcome back. Having a great time here. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post. Let's go to the hotline. We're going to dial up a first-time 410 winner. He did it at the Icebreaker at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway. Chad Trout is on the line. Hello, Chad. Chad, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, congratulations on that win Saturday. You picked a pretty good time to get that first one and kick off the 2018 season with it as well.
Oh, yeah, it was when the weather was bad, we didn't think we'd have it, but then sure glad they got that one in.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. So, Chad, last year you had a car owner pass away, obviously very emotional, had some other people step in and keep the team going. How emotional was Victory Lane for you?
It was very, there were so many people I needed to thank, and then, when you win your first big race, you got so many thoughts going through your head. You're trying to get everybody in there, and it was a special moment for sure. Special indeed, that is for sure. Chad, I want to talk about a moment in the race, and you alluded to this in Victory Lane because this made me laugh out loud. You are parading around out there. You're leading the race, and Brandon Raymer is running in second. And tell us about what you saw with Fred and what went through your mind and how that all worked. It sounds to me like maybe you stole a signal like we did from catchers in baseball. What was going on there? Well, I led the whole race from lap 1 when Lucas broke. So when you're leading the race, you really, you're just running by yourself. You're not really, you don't know where the fast guys who are coming up through the field, where they might be running. So when the yellow came out, I was hoping my mechanic was coming down and, maybe telling me what I should be doing and changing up. And I saw Fred walk out and motion to Brandon to move up the track in turns 1 and 2. And in previous laps, I was actually struggling on the bottom because I was in lap traffic. So once I saw him, tell Brandon to move up, I kind of, the next lap we had rolled under yellow and smarter, I should say. And I kind of figured out what he was telling him to do, so that's what we did, and my lap times picked up.
That is awesome.
I love that. I really do.
Did you go over and thank Freddie and Brandon for the tip?
No, by the time we made it back, pretty much everybody cleaned up.
Yeah, indeed. That's great.
Good celebrating. That's awesome. Chad, when you're leading that first 410 race, you led a lot of laps in the race. How nerve-wracking is it? Like you said, you're trying to figure out what line to run. You don't know where people are. but you've won races in the sportsman level and the 360 level, but this is a 410 race. You got Reimers behind you, you got Hodnett behind you. How nerve-wracking was it leading?
I actually felt very comfortable when I was by myself. My mechanic Brandon had the car. It was great. But as soon as I got in lap traffic, I struggled because the track was so narrow and the lap cars were racing too. You really didn't have many options to get past them. So I knew I was struggling in lap traffic, and I got lucky because the yellows came out. I needed them to. I know Brandon was catching me at one point, and we got lucky and had a yellow come out and missed a couple wrecks that happened right in front of us. But, yeah, it was pretty stressful. Even when you think you're fast, you'd be racing, you have Brian Monteith pass you like you're sitting still. So even when you're good, sometimes you're not.
Yeah, that's exactly the nature of it, especially up in Pennsylvania. I mean, you got to be on your guard the whole time. Chad, as we look at this season, what is the plan for the season? What is where are you going to be racing? What's the game plan?
Well, our deal is pretty much set up for every race at Lincoln Speedway, and then we're going to pick and choose where we want to race when we want to hit other tracks. We will probably hit the Grove, maybe a handful of shows, and definitely hit the National Open, and then probably Susquehanna maybe once or twice. And it depends how the rest of the year's going. If we can keep the momentum going pretty good, we'll hit some more shows. If we get into a slump and we need to watch our pants back where needed.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Chad, how important was it to get that first win and to get in victory lane, get that confidence? How important is it to start the year off on a good note like that?
Well, when we ended the season last year, we actually ended with a lot of confidence. After Jim passed away, we actually, about a month later, we got on a really good roll, and we finished third in points with no wins, but we were just so consistent. But we knew we were pretty good, but we started deep in the field every week. So when we came into the season, we had high hopes. I had expectations. The new owner had expectations. He allowed us to improve our equipment. So to be able to get that first win out of the way, it was a huge confidence boost to me, myself as a driver, as well as the rest of the team.
This to me is fascinating, and Jeremy Elliott did a story on this on Sprint Car Unlimited. Obviously, when Jim passed away, you guys are reeling, losing a friend, losing a person, losing a team owner, but there's also the what are we going to do as far as racing goes. Chad, if I'm not mistaken, it was literally a post on Facebook that triggered the new ownership. How did that work?
Well, the new owner was good friends with Jim, and he was actually he lives in Florida. He owns a business called GP Solutions. And he was scheduled to come up and see us race because he raced with Jim years ago, the time frame of Jim raced, and he wanted to come up, and him and Jim were friends, and they talk after the races every week on the phone. And the week before he was scheduled to come up, Jim had passed away. So I've never, the owner's name is Randy Oberlander. I've never met him before. I really didn't even know Jim was talking to him. So he actually, we put out a post that we needed to borrow a trailer because after the owner passed away, there's issues with the truck and trailer that we couldn't use. So we put a Facebook post out there, if anybody has a trailer we could rent or borrow, we'd appreciate it for a few weeks. And he actually Facebooked us back and said, hey, you don't know who I am. I'm a friend of Jim's, but I want to help you out.
Wow.
So he gave me his phone number, and I called him. He says, I don't have a trailer, but I want to help you out. He said, what do you need? And we're like, well, to be honest with you, right now all we need is a trailer. And we kept in touch from that moment on. He kept in touch, and he came up a couple weeks later and stopped over, and him and his wife hung out with us for the day, came to the races, and it just grew from there and led into purchasing the team.
I'm getting chills.
Yeah.
Chad, that is a great story. Okay, we're getting close to the time here. Not only the time to end it as far as the break goes here on Wing Nation, but I believe we had to alter your lunch schedule from work. What do you do? What's your real job?
I work at a hospital, and I do building maintenance, from renovation to building repair.
Wow. Okay. And I believe you had to get the boss's lunch schedule to get the lunch schedule changed. So we appreciate your time. We're going to let you get back to work at it. Congratulations on the win. And sounds like we're going to be talking to you throughout the season here, but we appreciate the time today.
I hope so. Thank you. Appreciate it.
There we go. That is Chad Trout. Now, isn't that a great story?
That is a great story.
I mean, on all accounts. I love the whole Fred Raymer stealing the sign. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that's great. I think that's fantastic. So I love that. But I am telling you, that story with, you don't know me, but I was talking to Jim, and look at where we're at 10 months later.
Yeah, that didn't even
Victory
know him.
Lane
Yeah.
at Lincoln. Isn't that great?
Some things are meant to happen.
Yes, indeed. We need to step away. When we come back, our old buddy Wayne Johnson checks in with us.
The American Sprint Car Series is back for its 27th year. Whether you're catching the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour at tracks like Williams Grove, Skagit Speedway, Knoxville Raceway, Lucas Oil Speedway, or any of the 6 regional tours across the United States, you'll find the ASCS Nation racing at a track near you. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Then see the full schedule, track-by-track history, updates, and more at ASCSRacing.com.
Sage Fruit is a high-quality grower, packer, and shipper of Washington State apples, pears, and cherries. Sage Fruit believes in sprint car racing. Sage Fruit has been a proud sponsor of sprint cars for the last 15 years and a proud partner of Wing Nation for the last 3 years. We love sprint car racing, and we are there for our sprint car fans. Sage Fruit works hard to deliver an exceptional eating experience. We value our relationship with sprint car fans and appreciate your continued support of Sage Fruit. Ask for Sage Fruit at your local grocer.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there. Whether you're running on dirt or running a job, our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
This is Terry McCarl. One has an engineering degree, the other has a degree in the science of beer consumption. You figure out who is which. Wing Nation on MRN.com.
There we go, Terry McCarl bringing us back. I'm the engineer. No,
well,
exactly.
I do like beer and food.
There we go. Hey, we appreciate Terry bringing us back there. Want to give a shout out. That last segment we had Chad Trout on. Ian Falcone does the video work in Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh! I know a lot of you listen to the show, but if you're watching it on our MRN.com or on Facebook Live, the video was fantastic as well. So we appreciate Ian Falcone for doing it. We love when we wake up or follow along with a race and see one of our buddies go to Victory Lane. And that's what happened last Friday night in Magnolia, Mississippi. It was Wayne Johnson picking up the win in the USCS Tour. Wayne, welcome back to Wing Nation, and congratulations.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, Steve.
All right. Tell us, you've been on a whirlwind tour of Florida. It seems like you and Terry Gray and Pete Walton are about the only ones racing down here. Had to be good to cap down your Florida trip with a trip to Victory Lane.
Yeah, for sure. They always say when you go to Florida, whatever you learn in Florida, leave it in Florida. But we just needed to get down and get some laps and just get started. We didn't do so well at East Bay. I guess we ran 5th on the final night, but wasn't really happy with it. And to come back and get to run, we really didn't even know those races were going on until we got down there, and then we realized that nobody brought enough clothes or anything to stay away from home for 6 weeks. But had a good time, that series with Pete there, it's a pretty good deal. They got a well of a following of crowd down there, man. I'm telling you, after I've seen how many people in those stands each night that we run with USCS, what's Tony Stewart been there and didn't hurt those promoters any, but man, they didn't pay us nearly enough money.
No doubt.
That's awesome. Wayne, how important is it to get a win this early in the season? I mean, you had a great field of cars with you, some of the ASCS guys, and you mentioned Tony Stewart, but how important is it for you before you guys really get rolling to get a win and get that momentum?
Well, confidence. Yourself, any race car driver, if they're lacking confidence, they're not going to probably run as well as they could. But, to get a win and to get the car to feel good before, like, our points races or however you want to say that starts is really, really a plus. But the biggest thing is a confidence booster. You got to win, and, you got that one out of the way. They always say that first one's the hardest one, and that's the way it starts every year. You might win 10 last year, but you got to get that first one out of the way, and it means it's a big motivator for the team for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure that's something you get into May or June, that start to wear on you as far as that goes. And that's the good news. You don't have to worry about that. You knock that out in the month of February. Wayne, when we look at getting geared up for this year, major changes, minor changes during the off season, where are you guys at as far as where you ended last year and where you've started this year?
We're exactly where we ended. Me and just me and Slip now. My nephew's kind of went on and bigger and better things with his job and different job or whatever. So it's just me and Slip back on the team and just trying to. That's really why we wanted to go to Florida, just to figure out how it was going to work with just me and him and what we needed to do and what part of it I needed to step up with losing Bud or whatever. But we, everything's the same. Car owners are the same. Not many sponsors on this car, but the sponsors are the same. Everybody's the same. Engine builder, chassis, everything's the same. So we're looking forward to getting started because we finished pretty strong at the end of the year.
Wayne, after you got Florida behind you and some USCS races, what are some of the hot topics in sprint car racing in general? You said your team is pretty much the same, but usually by this time we get some talk about tires or some promoters. I don't know. There's usually some hot topics. What are they so far this year?
I don't really know that. As you get older, I think you don't listen to all that crap anyway. But I really don't know. Haven't really heard any big rumors or any changes that are going on with the series or anything like that. We Emmett did send us out a message here a week or two ago that we had to cut a little money out of the point fund or whatever, but we still have the best thing going for what we do, 360 racing. And I know a lot of guys were upset with it or whatever, but I've always said, it's his playground. And if you want to play in the sandbox with him, you just got to go with it. And that's, kind of where that's at. But that's the only change that I've heard. But it's really not. I mean, it is a big change. I think he took $20,000 out of point fund, but at the end of the day, it's still the best sandbox that we got.
Yeah, indeed, it really is. It's despite that little step backward along the way. One of the things added this year for the Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour, presented by Sawblades.com, got to get all the sponsors in there. One of the things added is a little trip to Pennsylvania, and I know you're traveling all the way to Pennsylvania for 2 races. I think everyone would like to have seen a few more races over that way, but just kind of your thoughts in general about getting back to Williams Grove and over to Selinsgrove for you guys this year.
Looking forward to it. It's been I bet it's been 10 or 12, 14 years since I've been to the Grove back in the gum out days. So looking forward to getting back there. I'm not sure with how strong the 360 deal is around there, but hopefully, we'll get a good crowd and get a good car count and have a really good show there. But really looking forward to going there. Pennsylvania fans, they are the best in the country. We always, when we used to travel over there with the 410, man, it's like Knoxville Nationals every Friday or Saturday night over there, and I've never been to Selinsgrove. That's one of the tracks that I never got to go to, so I'm looking forward to a new place, also.
Take T-shirts, Wayne. They buy T-shirts over there.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do, and we'll definitely be stocked and loaded for that trip for sure.
There you go, and all you Posse fans, make sure you get those Wayne Johnson T-shirts when he rolls into Williams Grove and Selinsgrove. Wayne, congratulations again on the win. We appreciate the time, and I know we'll talk to you throughout the season.
Thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it.
There we go. Wayne Johnson picking up the victory. Him and Flip. I love Slip.
Slip.
Was that what it was, Slip?
Yeah. Slip.
Okay, Slip.
Right? Slippy, yeah.
Oh, Slippy. Okay, yeah. I was thinking, okay, I know Slippy.
Yeah.
See, now I know, but I don't know the nicknames, the real names, and the real faces.
Slippy's been with him for a long time.
That's right,
yeah.
Okay. So I'm thinking Flip. Well, who's Flip? Okay. But then when you say Slip, now I know Slip. Again, it's like we know the person.
Yeah.
We know maybe the nickname. We rarely know the real name.
Oh, yeah. You know the face.
You know the face.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it all put together now. Oh, my
it's
gosh,
all coming
it's
together.
March and I know what's going on. Oh, my gosh, that's fantastic. Hey, we need to step away. We're going to have more Wing Nation in just a moment.
Looking for custom racewear and embroidery? Do you want your race fans to represent your race team with trendy, original apparel? Contact Classic Ink USA, the new standard in custom screen printing and embroidery, located in Greater Pittsburgh. Classic Ink USA's professional staff utilizes state-of-the-art facilities to transform your ideas into an attractive wearable piece. From custom track swag racewear to trendy quick crew wear, Classic Ink handles it all. Find out how you can get started. Contact Classic Ink USA screen printing and embroidery at the track and on your back.
Aggressive Hydraulics, where we engineer the cylinders that move your business. We specialize in designing and manufacturing purpose-built, application-specific hydraulic cylinders with superior precision and performance, making OEM products stronger, crafting cylinders that operate on a global basis in a wide variety of industries and applications. Get aggressive with your cylinder challenges. AggressiveHydraulics.com.
O'Reilly.
Pick up Peak Long Life Universal Pre-Mixed Antifreeze and Coolant for $8.99 a gallon after mail-in rebate at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Protect against damaging rust and corrosion with Peak Pre-Mixed Coolant, now $8.99 a gallon after mail-in rebate at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Kerry Madsen, and you're listening to Wing Nation.
Oh, the Madman. Welcome back. Having a great time. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post would like to talk about our friends in turn number 2 at the famed Marion County Fairgrounds, the Knoxville Raceway, the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. And when we look at birthdays along the way, today would have been the birthday of Larry Smokey Snellbaker, okay? A 2002 inductee into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. Started racing in 1965, won more than 150 times. I think the thing that was fascinating about Smokey is he was never a full-time racer.
That's
he
incredible.
Was a factory tech tester for AMF snowmobiles, and then he drove trucks for Preston Trucking Line.
Yep.
So that's what he did during the week. Then he rolls in and goes and wins races, and he won some races.
Yeah.
1977 National Open, 1979 Syracuse Super Nationals, 2 World of Outlaw races, champion at Hagerstown, Penn National, Selinsgrove, Port Royal, and Williams Grove. Listen to this. In 1975, driving truck or testing snowmobiles, he won 4 track championships in 1 year.
That's incredible.
Hagerstown, Penn National, Williams Grove, and Selinsgrove. So how about that? Smokey passed away in 2011. So we tip the cap to Larry Smokey Snellbaker, 2002 inductee into the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame and Museum. Those stories are contained over in turn number 2 at Knoxville. And they are getting ready in April for the new Brian Clausen suite.
Big. April 11th is supposed to be the ribbon cutting. It's supposed to be all done. I've seen pictures. It's beautiful.
Oh, my gosh, that suite is unreal. Bob has really done well on social media, and then occasionally I'll get some pictures along the way and just what they're doing out there with the new suite.
Fast.
Yes, it has. In the heart of Iowa in the winter.
Oof, no
I know. Can you imagine being up on some of that scaffolding and stuff?
Yeah, he showed pictures of some of the steel workers up there in the freezing cold.
Oh, my
gosh.
Yes, indeed. But that is going to be nice when they get that up and running. And April 11th is the ribbon cutting, if you will, along the way. All right, so coming up later this week, Tim Kading going to join us. You get it. You smile. You smile. Whenever you just
well,
mention
I lived on the road, not lived with, but was on the road with Tim, and we shared a lot of laughs. He's a great character.
Yes, he is, and he's pairing up with Jason Sides.
There you go. Now a big smile.
Yes, indeed. So those two. He's going to join us Thursday on our weekend podcast presented by Hefner Racing Products, and Saturday, Sam Haferteep Jr. on our Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. So we have got some great guests coming up. ASCS National Tour kicks off in 2 weeks. So we wanted to get a little head start on it with Sam along the way and see what's going on with that. And he's very fired up. He's got a new team and a new operation and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you what, so much good stuff happening. And let's just have our fingers crossed now that Tulare goes off.
Yes,
all right,
Mother Nature.
With Mother Nature out in Tulare. And Pennsylvania with 3 races, including the Saturday double. We'll see what happens there as well. So maybe we'll get some stuff happening. Maybe we'll get a little momentum here as we get into the season.
Yeah.
I know.
Time of year's tricky.
That's right. It is. No doubt about it. It is really tricky along the way. That is for sure. So, well, there you have it. Awesome. Good to see you again. Thanks.
It's great to be back.
Oh, I know. Exactly. Great stuff. And you have the wine and the baby monitor and everything
Of
set up
course.
for this weekend.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
West Coast stuff, though,
Yep.
late nights.
I actually have the beach in the background this weekend.
Oh, do
We
you?
have the
Oh,
beach,
you have
yeah.
the beach? See,
But-
I'm going to the West Coast, so it'll be
Yep.
on my timeline. I'm going to be in Phoenix. Yes, exactly.
Envious.
Love it. Hey, thanks to Wayne Johnson and Chad Trout for joining us here today on the program.
You've been listening to Winged Nation, presented by Hercules Tire, right on our strength. You can also find Winged Nation on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, and in the MRN.com Media Center. Winged Nation is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.